What's up, Bills Mafia? I got 5 takeaways from the Bills' loss to the Denver Broncos this past Monday night. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is PZ Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, the Buffalo Bills lost to the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football in Buffalo. And it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. And by the way, if you don't know, somebody got fired today.
You're fired.
Right. And that somebody was Ken Dorsey. About damn time. And by the way, I like Ken Dorsey. That's the sad part about this whole thing. Like last year, I did a video saying Bills Mafia needed to relax on Ken Dorsey. Give the man a break. His first year on the job. I think we were third in offense, second in scoring. But Bills Mafia, I got to admit, you were right. You saw what was happening down the stretch. You didn't like it. And I was like, hey, whoa, give him a break. And this season has been a disaster. And I will say, though, Sean McDermott, McDummy, whatever you want to call him. And I take that back. I shouldn't say that because he's done a lot of good things here. He has. He brought this team back from the dead. But he's been a McDummy as of late. And I really feel like he's had his hands all on this offense. And go back to look last year's offense under Ken Dorsey. It wasn't this miserable. My God. Come on, guys. Give a guy a little credit. Last year was way better. I don't know what the hell happened this season. That's why I think Sean McDermott definitely had his conversation with Ken Dorsey going into this season and said, hey, I want it to be conservative. This is the way I want it. I don't want Josh Allen running. This is what I want. And this is what you're going to do. I really believe that. And this is why you're seeing this offense totally take a shit. And by the way, Ken Dorsey, I also feel like he just wasn't the guy as well. So not only did Sean McDermott not help Ken Dorsey's growth, I just feel like Ken Dorsey it just wasn't for him. OC is just not for him. Maybe he'd go back to quarterback coaching because I believe he's a really good quarterback coach. But OC is just not for him. And will it be in the future? Who knows? But right now, it's not. It's not for him. And we needed a new voice in the room. And that new voice is Joe Brady, by the way. So let's see if Joe Brady can bring a spark to this offense, a much needed spark, because we got 7 games remaining. There's still a chance the Bills make the playoffs, but it's so slim of a chance. And I got to be a realist and say I don't think it's going to happen. We have a tough schedule ahead of us. But can it happen? Of course it can. Anything can happen. And I'll still be here doing my videos, doing my live podcasts, rooting for the Bills because I love the Buffalo Bills. I love them. Been a fan since '89. That's never going to change. But let's get to this. So I got 5 things. I got 5 takeaways actually from the Bills Broncos game. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Once again, shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article. All right, let's get this thing going. All right, the offense is ugly. The Bills did not lead in the game until 1 minute and 55 seconds mark on the scoreboard. However, the overlying situation with Buffalo's offense is the ugly side it has. It's starting to overshadow anything good like tight end Dalton Kincaid first touchdown catch. I think it was his first or second. I'm sorry. It's his second touchdown catch. Quarterback Josh Allen gave the ball away 3 times After 2 interceptions, he now leads the NFL in interceptions with 11. On top of the fumble Allen had, running back James Cook had another on the first play of the game, which set the tone. No team in the NFL this season has won after turning it over 4+ times. Those mistakes cannot continue, but they do. Ah, boy, turnovers, shitty play calling. Allen not playing his best football as of late. Really, it's tough, man, because he's actually statistically, he's having a pretty good season. If you take away the turnovers, he's actually having a good season. But you can't take away the turnovers. It's not how it works. You got to factor them in. And so I don't know what to say, but he's not right. Allen is not right. He's not himself. This offense isn't right. I said it all year long. This offense struggles even when they're scoring. Nothing comes easy. It's nothing. Everything seems to be a mission to get into the end zone. Everything. And the offense just never looked like they were having a good time out there. Even when they scored touchdowns, it just seemed flat. It seemed lost. They were looking for answers that Ken Dorsey and Sean McDermott couldn't provide. They couldn't answer the question, right? They were looking for him. And they were nowhere to be found. And that's why you kind of see Josh Allen just lost out there. Stephon Diggs like, what the fuck is going on? Right? The whole offense just seems to be just out there playing backyard football. Can't win like that. It's the NFL, man. And that's why today there was a change made, and that was Ken Dorsey getting fired. And I agree with the decision. I do. I think it should have been done weeks ago. And just like Leslie Frazier, I think should have been fired after 2021. And they held on to him for another year. Why? It makes no sense. You know what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to go on. Same thing with Ken Dorsey. He should have been fired weeks ago, at least 2 weeks ago. Then you could have got Brady in here, and who knows how these games could have went on. Now, I'm not saying Brady is this offensive fucking genius. I don't know much about Brady either, so I'm not going to shit on him. I'm also not going to praise him. I'm not going to say, oh, man, guys, can't wait for Joe Brady. Joe Brady's going to, this guy, he's electric on offense. He's going to make this team fucking 50 points a game, best offense in the league. I can't say that because the little I know of Joe Brady, I could tell you he was an assistant offensive coordinator, assistant coach for LSU. He was part of the, I think it was like 3 people calling the offense at the time. It was like a split role thing. And he won some award at LSU. They also won the championship. He coached Joe Burrow. Like, that's the good. Now here's the bad. He went to San Francisco. I think he got fired there. And then he went to, I'm sorry, not San Francisco. I take that back. He went to the Saints. He was an offensive assistant coach. And then he went to the Panthers, and he was the OC in 2020, and they were ranked like 20th on offense. And then in 2021, they fired him midway through. So not the best NFL resume, though Carolina in 2020 really didn't have any players either. So you got to have the players as well to be a good offensive coordinator, right? You can't have, your best player and Christian McCaffrey only playing 3 games that year. Just saying. You can't have in 2021 no quarterback, Sam Darnold shit in the bed, bringing back Cam Newton to help. Like, he didn't have the best weapons either. So it's hard to judge what Joe Brady can do. I'll be real with you. But now he has the keys to a Porsche, let's say. I don't know if it's a Lamborghini anymore, or a Ferrari. We'll call it a Porsche. Let's see what he can do with 7 games remaining. Now, I will say this. It's going to be the same playbook, guys. It's not like we have all this time in the world for Joe Brady to dial up a new playbook and give it to everyone to learn overnight. It's not going to happen. It's going to be the same playbook sprinkled in a little bit of Joe Brady magic that I'm hoping for. And obviously different play the way he calls a game. That could help. Also getting players involved more that Ken Dorsey wasn't, like Hardy and Sherfield, using them the right way, understanding your players' strengths and weaknesses. That's something that Ken Dorsey failed to do, miserably failed. How about getting the running game going? Now you got Fournette. You could bring him up. You have like a three-headed monster there. Because I don't think Cook is a three-down back. He's a good back. I don't think he's an RB1 type of back, but I believe if you get Fournette and Murray going, it will help Cook during the game start to break open those bigger runs once the defense is kind of beaten up, softened up a little bit by Fournette and Murray's physical style of running. That's how you got to do it. Notice Cook's best games have come when Murray has run more than, I don't know, like 7 times and has softened up that defense a little bit. Look at yesterday's game. It's a prime example. Cook fumbles early. He doesn't get out there for 16 plays. Murray runs. By the way, Murray played well yesterday. Murray breaks that defense down a little bit. Cook gets in there. Oh, things are a little easier now. Defense is softened up. Now the holes are starting to get there. There you go. Why weren't we doing that most of the season with Murray? Murray still has juice in him. He still can run. He still has some speed. He's very physical. And I believe Fournette will be that extra piece we needed, that we thought Harris would be. But Harris got injured. And I told you guys, Harris is a good pickup if he's healthy. And I told you all it was going to happen. I had a weird feeling because Harris just doesn't stay healthy. But now you got Fournette. Let's get this thing going now. Let's do it the right way. And maybe, just maybe, there will be a spark. Maybe. And maybe by the grace of God, the football gods will go, Buffalo, we fucked you so many times, but now we're going to help you. And we're going to bring this fucking offense, and we're going to hit the spark in this offense. It's going to be unbelievable because the football gods are going to help you out now. We've seen that you've gone through the ringer way too many times. And Joe Brady, he's going to be a legend in Buffalo. An OC that came in week 10 or week 11, that is, and made this into a Super Bowl type of team. Right? One can dream. One can hope. We'll see. So let's get to the next thing. Man. All right. James Cook has the best ugly day imaginable. Cook deserves praise. He was the MVP of the Bills offense. After he had a fumble on that first play, Cook was benched. After returning, he had 12 carries for 109 yards rushing. Cook added 2 catches as well. But even with Cook's huge numbers, he still had a worrisome effort. Cook had a second fumble, which luckily bounced right back into his arms. While we're on Cook, fellow running back Latavius Murray did his part while Cook was benched. Murray had 68 yards on 9 carries. It's excellent. But Cook pretty much sums up the kind of game and season the Bills have had. Absolutely. And that second fumble, boy, oh boy, did he get lucky. The ball bounced right to him. I mean, that does not happen much, guys. And that could have been a second fumble and a costly one because we wound up scoring on that drive to take the lead, actually. So, yeah, once again, going back on Cook, I just don't think he's a 3-down back. I don't think he's an RB1. I think he's a good complementary running back, like a system where you can have multiple running backs in your system. But we need eventually a RB1. You can't keep going through this season after season with these okay running backs. Like, by the way, too, I think Devin Singletary was our best running back in a long time since Shady McCoy. I still think Bills Mafia was way too tough on him. Good pass protecting, great teammate, elusive. Yes, he didn't have the greatest speed. He doesn't have James Cook type speed, but I think he's more elusive than James Cook. I think he also runs between the tackles way better. He's more physical than James Cook. I think James Cook is the better a receiver out the backfield than Devin Singletary, but pass protection is a major disadvantage when James Cook is out there. He's just not good at pass protection, and that's a liability. It's definitely a liability. And James Cook's just too small. But I like him. I do. But I think if we use him the right way, he could be effective. Meaning get Murray in there, and Fournette in there, and sprinkle them all in, and let them all do do their job, break down that defense, and it'll help Cook. All right, next up. As balanced as it gets, look at this guy. My buddy Ken Dorsey. By the way, man, I do like Ken Dorsey, man. From the U, baby. But OC was just not his thing, man. OC was just not his thing. Those calling for offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey to be more balanced, you got your wish and may have had a point. Buffalo ran 26 passing plays, and Allen had another 4 carries in total. The Bills' backfield ran the ball 22 times. They put timers. That's all right. I still love you, Bills Wire. Sometimes you throw in some messed up words there and messes me up when I'm talking about it. Ran the ball 22 times, with Cook getting a team-high 12 total. In the end, Buffalo should have had the win, as their offense did enough, even with all their mistakes. But speaking of those, boy. Yeah, I don't know. I think the offense didn't do the defense any help, any justice in that game. They took the lead with 1 minute and just under 2 minutes basically to go in that game. No, the defense gave them plenty of opportunities to win that game, to go ahead multiple scores many times. And the offense turned the ball over 4 times, sloppy play, couldn't get anything going. Yeah, no, I the offense was a disaster. I like the fact that Ken Dorsey finally got the running game going, but it was too late, too little, too late. And once again, when the offense finally got going, McDermott, who's the defensive coordinator, couldn't hold the lead. Defense could not step up to the plate when it was needed the most. And I thought the defense did a great job all the way up until that last series, pretty much. But just like the story of the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott, the defense has failed this team over and over and over again in the biggest moments. It's the truth. Sean McDermott coaches not to lose. He doesn't coach to win. That is his downfall of being a head coach in the NFL and a head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Let's be real. He coaches not to lose, and that is a terrible way of going about it. I hate it. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And in big moments, when this team needs him as a head coach, he crumbles every time. And there's so many examples of it. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you all of them, but you guys know. If you're Bills Mafia, you know what I'm talking about. And it's happened twice this year already when the offense gave them the lead back, and the defense just could not make a stop when we needed them the most. And Sean McDermott went back to playing scared football, soft zone football. Doesn't want to give up the big play, so he's not going to take any chances. And then he does that yesterday, but instead he goes in, plays a soft zone, then he brings the blitz. It works, but then he brings it again twice in a row against a veteran Super Bowl winning quarterback and Russell Wilson and a Super Bowl winning head coach and Sean Payton, who knew exactly what they were going to do and knew exactly what the Bills were bringing. And there's the game. And then Sean McDermott, who preaches about fundamentals of turnovers and mistakes and all that other crap, penalties. He has 12 people out there on special teams. We could have won the game, but how does that happen? Because Sean McDermott folds under pressure. It's truth, guys. It's the truth. All right. Let's go to the next. A nightmare. Looking at the whole picture, the Bills defense did make some stops against the Broncos. Buffalo held Denver to several field goals, forced 5 punts, and cornerback Teron Johnson knocked loose a fumble. But the mistakes cost them the game. The obvious 12 men on the field, that's inexcusable. Calls for someone to be fired immediately rang out after the game ended. But how about the touchdown catch Broncos receiver Courtland Sutton had? Granted, heck of a play. Kudos to him. How doesn't anyone push him out or break up a prayer of a pass from Denver's Russell Wilson? Mistakes cost the Bills a loss and maybe the playoffs. Yes, and it's the story of the Buffalo Bills since Sean McDermott has been coach. Mistakes after mistakes in big moments. How about the Kyle Murray pass to DeAndre Hopkins? Should have never happened. How about the 13 seconds? Are you kidding me? Should have never happened. How about the kickoff on that 13-second game? How do you not? One coach tells him to kick it out of bounds. The other is telling him to squib kick it, but it doesn't get into the special teams guy, Smiley at the time, the coordinator, the coach, and he just tells Bass to kick it out of bounds, kick it out of the end zone. That's all McDermott. You're the head coach, man. Yesterday's game, he had a last time out, right? Used it on second down. They know third down that Russell Wilson is going to hike the ball, kneel the ball, and run the special teams out there for a field goal. You had plenty of fucking time to talk to your special teams coach, say, look, get your guys ready, which would mean 11. Make sure there's 11. Run them out there after this play and get them ready to block that kick. And that's what I mean about Sean McDermott doing this juggling act. Defense, head coach. Maybe if he wasn't doing that and his head coaching, he's just doing head coaching, maybe he could concentrate on doing his job and talking to his coordinators, his coaches, and saying, hey, let's get this right. Let's make sure we do this right. We execute this right. And he didn't. By the way, terrible clock management as well for Coach Sean McDermott. Been like that for since he's been here. Doesn't do challenge plays right. Challenges plays at the worst times. Doesn't win them anyways. It's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. All right, next up. It's nearly over. Look at Sean McDermott. Golly, man. The Bills are a 500 football team or worse this late in the season for the first time since 2018. That was Allen's rookie year, which was the last time Buffalo did not make the playoffs. Now at 5-5 overall and 2-5 against the AFC, the Bills are just about out of the postseason entirely. Between this and those mistakes, head coach Sean McDermott doesn't look too good right now. It might be safe to making your January plans now. God, another offseason talking about what needs to change for the Buffalo Bills. And you know what we're going to all say? Head coach. And you know what I'm going to tell you? It's not going to happen because the Pagulas are going to live in the past like they've been living in the past. See what Sean McDermott has done, which, by the way, thank you. I love that you brought this team from the dead, but you can't just keep hanging on for hope when it's just not going to get done. He reached his ceiling. You have to be a realist at some point. And I don't know if they will. I think they're satisfied with just being relevant and making the playoffs, which we're probably not going to make it this year, but I'm going to hold on for hope. But it's not looking good. And I don't think we will, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to hold on for hope. I'm a diehard Bills fan. I have no other choice. We have 7 games left. I'm not going to not watch. But yeah, they won't let him go. They just signed him to an extension, guys, before the season even started. Why would they do that? Why not see how the season goes? It's year 7 for this guy. How many more years do you go on where you go, enough is enough? He's not going to get the job done. You're wasting away players' careers while Sean McDermott's fumbling away, the opportunity for these players to get a Super Bowl, for Bill's Mafia to finally have a Super Bowl here in Buffalo. You're wasting Josh Allen's prime. You're wasting Stephon Diggs' prime. Other players are here, prime. It's crazy to me. You cannot let that continue on year after year after year after year, praying and hoping he's going to figure it out. Okay, so now we're going to go into year 8. And then what? Same old, same old. Then what? Year 9. What's the excuse there? Year 10. I mean, when is enough is enough? When do the owners say, man, okay, it's not happening? Like, they got to be real at some point. And I don't know if they're going to. That's the scary part of this whole situation. I just feel like they're caught up in the past. They're happy with what they have now. They don't want to go out and look for a new coach. They're okay with this, apparently. I'm not okay with it. Thank you. To me, if I'm the Pagulas, thank you so much, Sean. We really appreciate everything you've done here. You're a great person. You're great to the city of Buffalo. You bring the culture, a good culture here in Buffalo. We're this team, like, for the Buffalo Bills, the right guy. Like, thank you for everything you did for us, man. We really appreciate it. But we have to move on, and we want to move in a different direction. We think this team needs a new voice in the room. That's all. That's how you handle it. And I think Bills Mafia will applaud him on the way out and say, thank you. We appreciate everything you did for us. We were fucking terrible for 17 years until you came along and you broke that playoff drought in 2017. Thank you. And thank you for winning 3 straight AFC East championships. Thank you. We appreciate that. But we got to say, good luck on your next journey in life. Because we need a change. We need a new voice. We can't have this year after year. So that's where I stand, man. But listen, guys, season isn't over officially. There's still 7 games left. I'm trying not to be, the Debbie Downer here, right? But it's going to be tough. And let's just hope maybe this firing of Ken Dorsey and Joe Brady taking over is an unbelievable spark that ignites this offense, and we just start looking brilliant on offense again. I don't know. I mean, that's what we need. We need the football guys to just hit Joe Brady and make him this fucking unbelievable OC for the rest of the year. I mean, guys, that's God, I don't know what else to tell you, man. But anyways, Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.